Okay, I want to say hello again, everybody, and welcome to Mind Tunnels with me, Richard Clark, Wilshire Richard, and my brother Wayne Clark. Hi, Wayne.
Hi, how are you doing?
Okay, yeah, I'm fine. I hope everybody else watching this is fine. We're basically happy to be back. Okay, it's been what, 2 weeks? Was it 2 weeks? Yeah.
2 weeks.
Like Total Recall, 2 weeks. Yeah, we're happy to be back, and we're happy that everybody enjoyed the last episode of Mind Tunnels. We just speak freely and just share our own thoughts on different topics, okay? So don't take offence, we're just talking freely. Today we're just going to speak really freely, basically, and just speak about the existence of everything and the universe. You know, so many people are talking about this flat earth stuff, and we're just going to just speak freely about different ideas that could be talked about, you know, out there. Okay, not exact beliefs, or or trying to put anybody else's beliefs down on that. We're just speaking freely, and just thinking about different things. Okay, so yeah, okay, Wayne, how have you been?
I've been good, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to our next talk. It's been 2 weeks since the first one.
Yeah, I was thinking that because it's so good we could come back and do this. Mind tunnels. We want to get people thinking. So okay then. So what do you think then? Have you got any points you want to bring up about the existence of everything and the world and this flat Earth, or what the people are still talking about? They won't shut up about it.
It's true.
What do you think about all this? What do you think about it all?
The flat Earth topic.
Yes.
I think it's amazing how big that's become over the last year or two, isn't it? It's really when it's started a lot last year. I remember all over YouTube everybody was talking about it. So many videos just being churned out on that topic.
Yeah.
There's so much out there as well. Just can't keep up with it all, can you? It's like a big avalanche of flat Earth information.
Exactly. And to me, I always think like, how they've been studying the universe supposedly, and space and the universe and all of that, and they're saying how vast it's supposed to be and massive. But if that was not true, and it was just made up, and it was just like, we were inside this dome and there was like heaven above and all that, like the religious people say, some religious people, then that's still like as amazing, I think, as a universe or anything. It's like another something beyond. That's still a massive something. But they might say that's all there is. But I don't know. I don't think. Would it be ignorant to say that it doesn't affect us? What do you think?
I don't know. It depends what you mean, doesn't it, by affect us? I mean, it doesn't. How does it affect you in your personal life?
Exactly.
I mean, the world being flat or being round doesn't really matter to me.
Not at all. Me neither. And if that was true, then that would mean there'd be no. How about the asteroid? They said it killed the dinosaurs and things like that. That wouldn't be true then. That wouldn't be have been. It couldn't. There's no space for it to come from. And,
I suppose not. Have you seen that Eric Dubay? D-U-B-A-Y.
No. What does he say?
No, he's just another YouTuber who's put out a lot of flat Earth videos. The latest one he's done, it's called "Dinosaurs Didn't Exist."
Dinosaurs didn't exist. So what are the bones then?
Well, there you go. I don't know. I haven't watched his video. I just saw it uploaded.
Exactly.
The new video.
And some people believe, like, going off topic, some people believe that humans were around when the dinosaurs were around.
Right.
Yeah, they believe it. Fuck me. Excuse me, everybody. Excuse me, this is free speech,
Anything goes. Anything goes in
Anything
this show,
goes.
everybody.
We're just communicating. If people can say what they want, let's face it. There's flying spaghetti monsters and all the rest of it. I mean, come on. But anyway, we're being realistic though about it, It's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. A lot of the flat Earth stuff is unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. To me, yeah, I think people need to be a bit more smarter than that. How about then? Okay, so evolution, yeah. Do you believe in that? We evolved like from monkeys. That's first of all.
To be honest, I'm still on the fence on that one.
Yeah, got to be careful.
I long have been.
No.
I mean, I've gone back and forth, on that one. When I was young, I accepted. I sort of believed in evolution, but just sort of by default. I didn't really think about it that much.
Oh,
but
yeah.
over the years, I've questioned, whether how old humanity is in its current form, whether we've always been the way that we are now. Perhaps we've existed for millions of years in this form without being more ape-like and so on.
Yeah, I mean,
but I'm not sure. I'm just guessing. I'm just sort of always changing my mind on these things. I just don't know.
Yeah, exactly. What do we know?
Just don't know.
And there's things like the big craters you see, or these big craters that are supposedly made by asteroids and things like that. And then also even comets and small rocks that have supposedly entered the atmosphere and things like that. I guess they're saying it's all made up.
I suppose it would have to be, wouldn't it? It would be pretty elaborate though, wouldn't it? All these things to be made up just to hide the fact that the Earth is flat.
Exactly, and then also. I remember, was it you who mentioned before about Stonehenge? Was it people saying that's fake as well?
I don't think I mentioned Stonehenge to you, no.
I think someone said Stonehenge is supposed to be fake, and they're doing all this kind of stuff, and they're just pulling out things left and right, just trying to make up stuff.
It just gets crazier and crazier.
Ridiculous. And the moon, and then the sun, and they're coming up with all kinds of different stories. Okay then, but to me, I think the whole thing's fascinating. I mean, if you say there's a heaven, if there really is a heaven, and we go up there, for example, then what? So we can't think about that now, and when we get up there will be nothing else to think about. Fair enough, but how do you feel about the whole thing? So this God has created everybody, and the lessons of life are here, like set for human beings. This is the way we should live. About morality and what's right and wrong. But what are those lessons if it's only for humanity? It's not like that matters for us to exist somewhere else, unless these are lessons that we need to learn before we can go to heaven. That this kind of morality is needed in heaven, is it? Otherwise it will be hectic and understand, it's like God created, if God supposedly created human beings, then we are the only things that understand these lessons that he's teaching. What is it? What are we supposed to learn about? What morality and things like that? For what?
For what ultimate end? Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So if we're just within this one bubble, within this earth, we're just here. And right and wrong is something we've got to learn. We've got to learn how to live the right way, the pure, righteous way, and all of this. What is the righteous way? Is something that exists outside of planet Earth, yeah? Where there's other human beings, and that we're just one human race on this Earth, isn't it? That's the uniqueness of it. It's just a creation that He's made, and He wants to teach us this creation. Does He think about this stuff? Okay, yeah. So that's what I was basically saying, though. Just my one point I want to make there, put forward to you, Wayne, and anybody watching, regardless of if you are religious or not. It's up to you what you believe in, or what is and isn't. Who knows? Obviously I don't know, but in all respect and love to a God who may have really created us, I don't know. I just wouldn't understand it, and fair enough, as a simple human being, I wouldn't understand it. But I mean, the lesson is for us, and the lesson is for what, though? Righteousness. We should learn all these laws, all these moral, rules and things, how to live our life the right way, the correct way, which apply. The correct way of living as a human being applies to what? Later applies to what? To heaven.
I don't know. Maybe to fall in line with what God has set out. I suppose what will be called the maybe natural law. You know, the term that people use, natural law, for that there are these basic sort of rules within nature, and that if you can find a way of living your life in accordance with them, you yield maximum benefit to yourself and to others. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
So we've been created, though. Let's say, right, just for argument's sake, we've been, not to argue, but we've been created so that we can learn the meaning of our creation. I mean, that we can learn to live the right way, so that, you know. But is that why we were created? To learn it? That's like a kind of a, what do you call it? Paradox. No, what do you call it? A contradiction. You know, it's like you're created so that you can learn how to live. It's like, you know, if you weren't created, you wouldn't have. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like
you wouldn't need to learn anything then, would you?
No, exactly. And it's like to live. It's like, I'm not being ignorant. Yeah, fair enough. But it's like, it doesn't make sense. If I was a god, if I was a creator, let's say, of something, I was going to create some little beings now, and their existence, all of the meaning, all they had to do was learn to live the right way for them. Otherwise, they're going to have pain, suffering, and I won't be happy. I'm going to send them to hell. or I'm going to put these beings. What? And if you say then, okay, the true important thing is not their existence on earth, that's just their learning part. The important thing is when they get to heaven later on, and that's when their enlightenment or whatever it becomes, you know. Then that means in the beginning he created them not to be on earth. He created them as what? Company in heaven or what? So we're all up in heaven. Let's say now there's a load of spirits that have gone up to heaven, they've lived their life the right way, following the laws, and they're up there now. Well, I can't argue about that, what it's supposed to be about, but you know, it's like to have no questions. So there's no question in. I guess some people would say there's no questions about heaven, and I'm not trying to get religious. I'm just speaking from a scientific, studying reality, just interest in the whole thing, honest interest, right? If we're supposed to go up there, and you may say, well, that's right, there's no questions because there's no, confusion. When you're up there, all the answers are there. God gives you everything. It's perfect. Perfection. Then what is perfection? And me asking that kind of question is ignorance. So now people are saying that questions mean ignorance in the face of God, and you're just ignorant. I don't think that's the right way to say, I don't know. Anyway, so what do you think about it, though? Do you believe we would go to a heaven or whatever? Do you think?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I haven't died yet.
Some people say that they've died. Some people say they've died and come back. Do you believe in that?
They do. They do, don't they? Well, there's out of body experience, isn't there? Or no, near death experience. Similar thing, really.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I can't say. Whether it really happens or not. It hasn't happened to me. I've known people who've said that.
What do you think about? I was going to ask you about these mediums and stuff, because I was going to ask you about this before. Like I'm a fan of Derek Acorah. I just think he's entertaining, regardless of if he's true or not. But I'm saying, what do you think about mediums and these kind of people, regardless of if they're real mediums or fake? And psychics and things like that? How do you feel? Premonitions, also things like that. Premonitions, like. I remember our grandmother, anybody watching our Nan, okay, she used to talk about premonitions and things like that. Some people believe they have, How do you feel about those? And things like that?
Well, I think mostly, we've spoken about the mediums before, and the people that give psychic readings and so on.
Yeah.
Or you also have past life regression, don't you, as well?
Aggression?
No, past life regression, where you go into a sort of meditative state, and you have somebody sort of guiding you through, don't they? What do you see now? What are you experiencing? In these visions you have.
I don't know much about that one. It's very fascinating. Do you mean someone like a hypnotist or do you mean someone a spirit? Do you mean like a spirit guiding you, or do you mean a person?
No, it's a form of hypnotism, a form of therapy.
In your sleep, yeah.
Yeah, you sit in a chair or you lie back in a a chair and you have a therapist that talks you through it, and he asks you what you're seeing and what you're experiencing in these supposed visions you're getting of one of your past lives. That's what they believe them to be, their past lives. So I don't know what they really are, whether they're, again, when somebody's under a state of hypnotism then or hypnosis, then the sky's the limit, isn't it? I don't know if they're just imagining these things or what, but
yeah, exactly.
Or their dreams or...
Yeah, well, this is fascinating. But again, that's another whole topic there, hypnotism. Some people may even... I mean, I don't know, do you believe... Do you think you personally could be hypnotised? I don't think I could be.
I think so, yeah. I think it's...
you are
people who say they...
Personally.
Oh, me, yeah. I would say, yeah, I believe I could be hypnotised, yeah.
There's always abilities, there's things out there we don't know, so there's a chance that I could be too. But sometimes people talk so much crap, I just feel hypnotised just thinking about other stuff.
Just listening to them, yeah. I would never voluntarily be hypnotised though. I would never sit down and let someone hypnotise me. If I knew they were going to do that, I wouldn't allow it to happen. But I'm saying that I think it's possible that I could be hypnotised. Yeah, I think most people are able to be hypnotised. They're suggestible, that's the word, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's like the way I feel about it is if someone's really smart though, and if not someone who's trying to fight against it as such, and be defiant, but I'm saying someone maybe who might be listening to a hypnotist, listening to what they're saying, their words and following, that person's still thinking about what they're saying. And the way I see it is if someone was like of a strong mind, not defiant, but someone who's just very awake and very just naturally focused and strong in their mind, they might be envisioning all this stuff the guy's saying and taking it in, and it's still like they've got their own control of their own mind, and they're just getting lost in their own thoughts. I don't believe the person's got magical powers over their words as such. Don't know. And dreams as well. You get some people who believe in dreams and the meanings of dreams, and you get books about this kind of stuff as well. How about that? Do you believe in dreams having meanings?
Interpretation, yeah, dream interpretations. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there is an objective meaning. I think it's based on maybe what people assume it means, or maybe what they really believe it means, or what they want it to mean, maybe.
Yes.
I'm not sure. It's hard to say, isn't it? Some dreams seem completely nonsensical. You can't understand anything that happens in them. Other ones, there might be something that happens that you think maybe is a message of something that you need to sort out in your life. I don't know.
Okay, so Wayne, all this stuff I feel is very, very fascinating, though, to think about with dreams and things. I remember actually today we were talking about something where I heard a song I liked, and you said that you've heard it recently too on the radio where you were, right? And that was a weird thing, like some coincidences and things like that, where vast distances it can be, like we are. I'm in China, you're in England, different things like that, and it could be like around about the same time, around about the same, in these few days it might have been, but where something has happened and we've had a similar experience or something we can connect to. Do you think that's all coincidence, or do you believe there's something supernatural and there's something magical about that?
Synchronicity, isn't it? It's called. I do believe in synchronicity. Yeah, I definitely do believe there's something to that.
Maybe.
I think there's probably a connection between us. That's why we, or maybe because we've been talking a lot, more frequently lately in the last few weeks, that maybe we're thinking along the same lines now as well, more so than we were before, maybe even.
So it's not.
I don't know.
When you say that, do you mean like it's only purely like a psychological thing, the way we're thinking, and it happens to be this way, or do you mean it's really like something that could be, I don't want to say spiritual, like electrical? In the universe, like just like they said, like things like, what's it called, quantum? No, what's it called? Like spooky. What do they call it? Spooky action, spooky theory. Have you heard of that? Where like one particle, is it, or something in another place? Two things can happen in the same, two different places. At the same time. an object can be in two places at the same time. I'm sure you've heard of this. Anybody out there? Science. You watch these science documentaries and stuff, and even about parallel universes and things like that. Do you think it's something along those lines, where there may be some energy that where things are really able to affect things on that level? Or there's like a mirror or some kind of a connection, like a bridge between people. You know, even like you say like, what do you call it? Like twins, identical twins who say that they really feel they know what the other one's going to say, like a psychic thing and things like this. Is it stronger with family members, do you think, like as we are, you know? I don't know. How do you feel?
Yeah. Something tells me that it is, yeah. I think there is probably something to that. I think maybe it happens more often between people who are related, or people that you're closer to, you know, maybe than total strangers. Like one time, Dave had got a phone call from someone who he'd been talking to me about this person. This was I don't know how many, probably 5 or 6 years ago. He'd been talking to me about this person. I think his name was Steve. I think it was Stephen.
Interesting.
And he hadn't seen him in many years. He hadn't even heard from him in years. And he called completely out of the blue. And it was the person he'd been talking to me about, literally like 10 minutes before the phone rang.
Wow.
And you know, things like that make you wonder, you know, the fact that he hasn't heard from this person in all these years, and then he calls when we're talking about him, that's a bit weird.
Yes, you see, this is it. Things like that make you wonder, exactly. And these things do happen on a regular basis. I'm not trying to say like, oh, well, I mean, coincidences do also happen on a basis, a lot, regular. But I'm saying with people like, let's say like, I'm not going to get onto a massive debate about it, but I'm just saying like, you know, Richard Dawkins and people like Richard Dawkins. I like him. Some people don't like him, but you know, people like that though will say things like, oh yeah, no, you will believe what you want to believe. If something like that just happens out of coincidence, that's all it is, you know, and there's no connection. And it's easy to say that, and I can see how that would be true, but I still understand what you're saying, Wayne, about there could be something more. Sometimes there could be some kind of connection. There could be some kind of thing that triggers something, and I don't know what, and that's just how I feel. I'm not really superstitious, I'm not religious or spiritual, but there's always something else we don't know, and the signs are there. There's things sometimes that could be there. People can be ignorant. They can think they know everything, or they can shut everything off, but you never know. Fascinating.
That's right. No, it's good to remain open-minded, isn't it, about these things?
Exactly, yeah. So,
I see it as being like magnetic almost, that certain experiences are sort of attracted towards you, you know, for whatever reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Could be.
It could be that also, exactly. And so, all right, what do you think then about the human body? I was going to say, do you think that the mind is something like there is an actual mind? Let's say in the brain, you know, in a human body, the brain, and then you have the mind, or like the spirit. The mind is like the spirit. A lot of people believe in that. I mean, do you believe that, or do you think the body is just a brain? You know, I know it's disgusting to talk about, a bit sickly, but you know, do you think we're just meat and flesh and skin and bone, and we're going to die? What do you think? Do you think the mind is when we're thinking and dreaming, or do you think it's an illusion? Just like Richard Dawkins did say also in Science, he said we don't know exactly how it works, but even with I don't want to ramble, but you know, like with Richard Dawkins, right? He says everything, even all emotions, ideas. He said even things like love, hate, fear, anything. He said they're not really feelings. It's all an illusion. All it is the reactions of the brain and the cells and the electrons and this and that. I can totally understand that, but I don't. The thing with me is like I can totally understand that if it is like that, and I really will understand that. But to me, it's still the same. That's the same as a spirit. We're just amazing, this living thing we are, and that is special still. But it only seems special to me also because I'm a human being. If I didn't know, if I was brain dead, no, I don't want to say that. Oh my God. It's hard to wake up in the morning. Anyway, so what do you think though? Do you think there's a spirit? A ghost in the machine?
I do.
You do, yeah?
I do. I tend to, but I don't know if that's because I want it to be the case, or if if I really believe that it is as such. It's hard to say. I mean,
See, this is the thing, when we're being honest. When we're honest here, we're both open to all kinds of possibilities. Nothing is impossible. Or impossible is nothing, as was it Adidas they say. But really though, nothing's impossible. It could be possible, but we're not going to what do you call it? Give in to one way. Just what do you call it? Decide on one thing. And just be so. What's the word? Be so. And just believe in anything. Yeah.
Yeah, gullible.
Yeah, gullible as such. Yeah. Because the more deeper we go down any path of thought or any mind tunnel, right, it can just keep on going until the end of your life. But do you think people actually develop in their thinking as minds? Do you think people develop, or do you think they don't develop? They just change, constantly change. Do you think we actually do develop as we grow older, or do you think we deteriorate in our thoughts as things get lost or not? Is it still a growth? What do you think? Experience?
Yeah, I think both are true. I think you do grow, but you also lose some of what you had before. I think it's like a trade-off that occurs. You sort of exchange the old aspects of yourself for new aspects.
I see. So
it's good and bad.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. All right. Well,
give and take.
Wayne, I want to say, is there any last points? We've got like 1 minute. Is there anything you'd like to say, and we have to cut off? Okay.
Oh, it's really tough to think of anything to say for the end of this. It's not a very long talk we've had today. Hopefully we'll have a much better one next week.
That's right. Well, it's been very nice though. We've had a good talk, very fascinating, and we hope we open a lot of people's minds there, get to thinking for yourself and looking into the truth. We may talk about technology and stuff maybe next time. What do you think, Wayne?
Yeah, I look forward to that.
Yeah, we were talking
thanks
about...
for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoy this one, and I'd like to talk about that next time.
Okay, fine. I think that's a good one, about technology and, and the future and all of that. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I'll say goodbye. I'm going to have to cut it off here, okay? So bye, Wayne. Take care. Take care, everyone.
Thanks for watching.
Take care. Thanks for watching. It's Mind Tunnels. See you again next time.
Peace.
Peace.